Starting the show in 3. I was going to go in 3, 2.
That's how we're going to do it now, huh? Oh, okay. Okay. You gave me the thumb, too? That's 2, you idiot.
Pull out the pinky.
Oh, okay, there, guy.
How you getting the Ninja Turtle?
You mean the Goro?
That's the Goro. The Ninja Turtle.
Ninja Turtle's like this. Oh yeah, no, the Ninja Turtles do have that weird middle claw or whatever it is. Like,
they don't have.
I don't even know. Like, they would be the worst martial artists. I'm just saying.
How you grabbing?
You can't get a full grip.
Well, you can't. Well, your grip. Well, no offense to our people with
No, I mean, I'm not offending anybody. You just wouldn't be a good sword fighter. That doesn't mean you're like not a person.
I'm not saying that.
It's not a sword fighter.
Well, yeah, you're not a sword fighter.
So that's like, something.
Sword fighting.
But speaking about sword
bathroom.
fighting,
well, we didn't even welcome everybody to the show.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back to part 2 of Hernán Cortés,
or Yucatan Cornelius,
aka Space Cortés.
We don't want to make Space Cortés a thing.
Hashtag Space Cortés. Hashtag. Let's make it a thing. Let's blow up Twitter, people. The few of you who are listening to this show,
few people that bother to stick around.
Let's blow up Twitter.
We just lost Germany. Thanks.
We're taking it back. Roasted.
Yep, you heard it here, folks. Another hour and a half.
It's a callback. Callback to one of our first episodes.
Oh, I remember that now. Yeah, because what happened to your soundboard anyway?
I deleted it because it was too much hassle to try and keep recording that with. I need to figure out how to get it hooked up to that little keyboard I have.
Shut up! Shut up! Kiss my butt! Shut up! Go to hell! Go to hell!
But yeah, welcome back to the new Deep Dive Daddies, where today we're covering Hernán Cortés Part 2.
All right, last we left off, I think he was just settling down. He just got done breaking out of jail twice, right? Kind of a slippery man, this Cortés, and he made up with the governor, wrong guy. So it was the governor, Valdez, that's who it was. So kind of before we get started here, though, I did, in my research, find some interesting stuff. A small little aside about Ovando. Well, before I start that, Alex, how much do you know about Game of Thrones?
The whole is present.
I've watched everything except for the last half of the last season.
Okay, but have you ever read A Song of Ice and Fire, though?
Is it the first book?
There's the Game of Thrones. There's the like all of this series.
So I only got halfway through the first book, and I haven't picked it back up yet. I need to.
They're pretty good. Well, they're good enough to start a phenomenon. So, do you remember Ramsay Bolton?
You've known Sansa since she was a girl. Now watch her become a woman.
Yes.
Well, turns out history had its own Ramsay Bolton.
Oh, really?
And he's a familiar figure. I don't know if you remember, but we mentioned that Cortés had or his dad had a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was Governor Ovando. That's what it was. Governor Ovando. He was, guess what he liked to do? Well, he liked to hunt the natives. I wish I was kidding about that statement.
Wow.
Like to hunt the most dangerous game. He basically was the Ramsay Bolton of real life. So let me just kind of read this. The source I'm pulling this from is from Hernán Cortés, Conqueror of Mexico by Frederick Albion Aubert. So the source says, Governor Ovando was away on an Indian hunting expedition. I thought he was just hunting with some Indians, but this is me, by the way. Mm-hmm. Editors know. I thought he was actually hunting with Indians, but yeah, I'll continue. Quote, the natives of Higüey, the easternmost province of Hispaniola, having risen in rebellion because one of their chieftains had been torn to pieces by Spanish bloodhounds. Hunting the Indians with bloodhounds was a pastime in which Ovando frequently indulged, for he was the most cruel of all the governors sent out to Hispaniola. After running the rebellious Indians to earth, hanging their last great chief, Cotabana, and cutting off the hands of many of the rebels, Governor Ovando finally returned to the capital. I had to edit that a little bit too, due to the
Graphic nature of that content.
not really the graphic nature of the content, just some of the pejoratives that were in there. Didn't want to include those. A little bit behind that. I'm already talking like about these people getting massacred, and I just don't feel like we need to insult them further. So it looks like Cortez didn't fall too far from that. So the life led by Cortez and his boon companions was definitely wild and licentious, without restraint of any sort whatsoever. So that makes me wonder, like, what did these guys get up to? Like, when this book's like without any kind of restraint, like they just nonchalantly like mentioned like hunting humans is just like, oh, just the boys being boys out there going on the hunting expedition. I'm gonna get
gonna worry
look
about
at him.
this.
He's a big one. Go ahead, get him.
He reminds me of the thing from Maverick when that Native American guy needs to give Maverick his money for the gambling, and you don't remember that to get into the poker tournament. He has to get into the poker tournament, and so there's this European guy there who's living on like in the reservation area with the other Native Americans, and they keep like playing it up and like getting more and more money off of him. It's the guy who played Bluto in Popeye.
Not ringing a bell. Like
don't
I'm
remember that?
trying to search the archives in my brain, and I'm like,
He's all, you want to hunt the
did
most?
Mel Gibson wear like a clown nose in that movie?
No, but his outfit, his Native American outfit, they put him in looked very clownish.
I swear he had like a red clown nose that he put on.
No, but he did have a shirt that was shrunk by Miss Jodie Foster herself.
That was a joke in there, huh?
There was something in there, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, the listeners do. Hey, check out.
Anyway, back to actual interesting history. So I wonder what they meant by like, no restraint of any sort. The treatment of the natives was most atrocious. Not only did they hold their honor in light esteem, but they frequently struck off an Indian's head or hand merely to try the temper of their swords. In default of fugitive Indians to Harry. So Cortez sometimes, I guess, like in order to vent the flow of spirits, he'd just go fight Indians instead. Somebody would piss him off, and he'd just go kill some Indians. So
That's it. Get him over here.
Yeah, pretty much. Like he was a notorious slave driver. I really don't feel bad taking the piss out of this guy anymore. Like before, I was like, well, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just kind of a butt. But no, all bets are off. This guy's a open target.
A real jerk.
But anyway, so we're kind of back into that. That was kind of just a quick aside. But now things have been settled for a little while, right? We're settled down from the daring escapade of I don't want to get married and I just want to just be able to stick my dingus in whatever comes my way because I'm Cortez, doing some conquistadore of another land of sorts. So we find him now I guess this is a little bit of pre-context. I like to go back and kind of give a little bit of backstory before all this comes in, kind of give it a little bit of a narrative. Mm-hmm. So there was a wealthy Hidalgo. I can never say that right. The Viggo Mortensen movie, Hidalgo. So it was Francisco de Cordova, and he lived around the same area, but he did come along with Vasquez over from Hispaniola. So these guys are all, they're drinking Indian blood and doing, native blood, I should say, and just doing whatever they want. No restraints, right? Just no rules.
Are you drinking their blood?
I don't know if they were doing that. They said no restraints. So, I mean, I just don't know where else that car goes besides because once you remove the brakes and there's just no regard for anything, you just start doing weird stuff, right?
I guess.
Like you've been to those parties where it gets a little out of hand. You're like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm imagining like with no cops and no worry about any kind of judicial actions.
Well, they're the law. They are the law. So
yeah, I imagine they got I wouldn't put it out of question, to say the least. So that's allegedly from Chris that they drank the blood.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But anyway, so like I said, this Dicadorva guy, or Cordova, I'm going to butcher these names like I always do, decided to take command of a little fleet. I think it was like 3 small ships, and embark to go kind of check out what was beyond what we know now as Cuba. So he sets sail, I think it was like 1517, sometime in February. And he finally lands in the northeastern extremity of like the Yucatan. And I guess the people they had navigating, their pilot or whatever on the ship was like one of the guys that sailed with Columbus. And it took a while because they wandered for a bit, but it was like, yeah, I sailed over to Columbus.
So we'll get it there. Just to settle
Don't
down.
worry.
Where they're gonna get there.
And yeah, they finally did. So, interestingly enough, I think they found like while they were traveling, they got into quite a few battles where they were just getting wiped by the natives. The natives were not playing around. So I think that they set sail and lost, I think, about 110 and wounded, I think, everyone, including the pilot and Cordova himself. So they head right on back, right? You're like, okay, well, we claimed it here, but we're getting back. So we're hurt pretty bad. And like, I guess they burned the smallest vessel they had. And then the 2 crafts went across the Gulf of Mexico to Florida. And then they finally made their way back to the harbor of Havana. So I guess it took 2 years and they like established a city. This is a kind of a weird story where the source I was pulling it from. So it was like around 2 years later where I guess the city was founded. Captain Cordova, I'm not sure if he died like right there, but he was taken across the island of Cuba to his plantation. And then he later died of his wounds. So they send the gold over, right? And of course, Valdez gets his eye on it. There's some, I think there was what was it? It was like some idols, and I think there was like birds and stuff like that, like just like animals and stuff like that made out of gold. And like of course, immediately like he just is like all yeah, we need to get we need to get some more people out there. There's gold in the Emerald Hills, right? Gold, I tell you. And so they thought the city was rich. So the next person he sends out is this guy named Juan de Grijalva, who happens to be, I think, his nephew. So it's kind of like, that nepotism whole thing. This guy sets out. He's got a company of 200. He's got guns. He's got, let me see here. Let me read the register, or like the registry here to you. So the second expedition under the command of Grijalva sailed from the port of Matanzas in early April 1518. They had with them, they later landed at Chimpotoan. That's where everybody died, where Grijalva's men were set upon by the natives, who were beaten back with a great loss. So this time they come back, they're armed heavily, and they just kill everybody. Yeah, they come back with the gat. Pop, pop. That's a Glock. They pretty much just pulled up, did 21 Savage, and then, rolled out in the boat.
Their mama's house, their grandmother's house.
Actually, temples, yeah. Richard Priest's temple, actually. They're just not one of those, big conquistadors. But anyway, actually doing this, they kind of like would land fight, and they worked their way down the Yucatan Peninsula, and I guess their biggest discovery was a river, and it was originally named after the guy who discovered it, Grijalva, but then later changed to the Tabasco, and I think that's what it's called now. So that's some hot sauce.
It's a hot river.
I wonder that's kind of dark, actually. If they just like they became the Tabasco because of like all the bloodshed and like.
Oh, so they're not putting it on their eggs?
I don't know. You gotta put the blood on your
I don't
eggs.
like Tabasco sauce. I think it's gross.
I like it better than a couple other hot sauces, but it's a low tier hot sauce.
Yeah, like that's why they include it with like that's why Joe would always bring it back with a little MRI.
Oh yeah, the MREs. Well, the thing I like about Tabasco is it just makes everything taste like Tabasco. Like if you're just eating crappy, like some bad food, and not all the time, but it just usually
it's just salty.
I don't. You know what hot sauce everybody's like hot on, and it's okay, but it's like not my favorite go-to. Is the Tapatio.
Tapatio?
Yeah, Tapatio.
Yeah, I like that.
I know everyone does.
But I like Valentina's better.
Valentina's is pretty good, but is it Cholula?
Chili,
Yeah, Cholulas and stuff.
The green.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's
Mwah.
the chili verde.
Speaking of special sauces, special shout out to Grandma Hoots' sauce.
Oh yeah, that's some good hot sauce.
What is this hot sauce?
That's a good hot sauce. Another one I like is the Louisiana style hot sauce with the cayenne pepper. Ooh, I love that.
one's
Get that
good.
crystal. You put that crystal on eggs. That's what it goes on eggs, but it goes on everything. Put that on a burrito. You put it at your mama's house, at your grandma's house.
I'm a green sauce man anyway, so anything red is never my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite red sauce. My favorite green has got to be the Cholula. The crystal hot sauce is
The
good.
jalapeno and poblano.
Yep, that's the one. The poblano. But anyway, back to the Tabasco River.
The jalapenos and the
You
poblanos.
put some poblanos in there, and you get some ornaments, and you got yourself a little Aztec temple. Oh man, we can't do anything serious. We're just screwing up history. Who
We're
cares?
taking the piss out of
true.
this, but we're sorry for the lives that were lost.
Yeah, we are not making fun of the people who were lost, just the people who did it.
Hashtag F Cortez.
Yeah, put that one out. But so anyway, so the fighting was definitely ferocious, and it looks like there was like a tribe, after a while, right? There's a river that got its name from this too, not just the Tabasco, but it's pretty kind of cool. But by fighting their way down there, eventually they like made their name known, right? Because they got all the weapons, they got cannons. Like once you get cannons, it's pretty much game over because you can just sit from your boat and pelt the shore, and then I don't think anything's gonna happen. Like you really don't lose anything, and everybody else just gets wrecked. And then you go in and you make more stuff because you can just get the resources after you get it's like cleaning up. You can probably get your cannonballs back too.
Reusable.
Yeah.
They were recycling before it was cool.
Recycled war. We're green. We're the green war party.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Our carbon
Recycling.
footprint.
Well, you're recycling your ammunition instead of just leaving it there for other foreign hands to get their hands on. As you're pulling all of your troops out just randomly.
Imagine that initiative. You're like, oh, our plans to reduce our carbon footprint on the native population is almost there. Net zero natives.
Take that, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Our clean energy.
Big climate.
That it's we're not the bad guys. Our vehicles are powered by the wind.
And we wonder why now we're being attacked with our same weaponry because we're just leaving it everywhere. We just leave we don't clean up. We just leave our messes.
Yeah, that's true.
Come in, change a dictator, leave the messes. It's fine.
Yeah, if only we were green. We need to get green with our industrial
That's
military
the thing.
complex.
Well, I mean, we're pulling out the real style. You come in, you leave a mess, and you just dip. Whoa! America, baby. USA. USA.
Amazing. Excellent. Good. Home run.
This is what eventually leads to that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the past, and this is now. So, anyway, these natives were actually pretty nice that they found, and instead of fighting them, they had pretty suitable hospitality. They brought them lots of cooked provisions and golden ornaments. Right, this is where the shapes of birds and lizards. So these were little trinkets, if you will. So the funny thing here, there's kind of a funny story with this one, and we'll kind of get into that here in just a second. But the objects of gold, they came from a place where it was known as Alcoa or Mexico. I probably said that wrong. It's Alcohol. I'll never get it. Alcohol, or Mexico.
The little city of Tequila.
A little city called Tequila, Mexico. Alcohol, Mexico.
Tijuana. Tijuana, Mexico.
And that's how it was all started.
Merry Christmas.
That was the first Thanksgiving. So words which the Spaniards first heard at that time. And so this is where we get that cool river name. So farther on, like I guess like word had spread, and they called this river the River of Banners, because there was so many white flags to kind of like signal the coming, like saying, hey, we don't want any of your cannons and your guns and your tanks and your bombs and your guns.
Please stop.
But yeah, so after all that happens, you get Grijalva's like, yeah, hey, I did pretty good. I managed not to, it was combat when we initiated these fights, and I didn't manage to kill the people who hosted us peacefully. Maybe we'll have some inroads here. So he decides to sell back to Cuba with all of it loaded down with the stuff that they got from the natives from the River of Banners and all this stuff. Their tribute, I'm pretty sure it's also known as like, war gold or, war crimes and illegal.
All he's saying is by the time they got back to Spain, I was going to say Spanish, but Spain, he was like, here you go, man. Look at what you got. Check it out.
I'm surprised that like never mind.
We'll just say it now. You piqued my curiosity.
I was just surprised. The boat shows up. The anchor's all plated out in gold. It's got like spinners, and this is like the boat's like a little bit lower.
It's
like the boat's like a little bit lower in the ground. The wide sail. The sail's got some spinners in it.
Just bouncing on the water.
And that's where that came from. So yeah. So he gets back to Cuba, and it looks like another guy named Pedro de Alvarado was the guy who sold this one in. So he's kind of a popular guy in the subsequent campaign in Mexico. I think we'll probably read about later. But he was graciously received by Velasquez, who seemed overjoyed at the success of like their trip. Right.
He just saw dollar signs and was doing this with his
He
hands.
Mr. Krabs so hard. That's all I see Velasquez as, just a modern day Krabs.
But where's me money?
Where's me money? I heard you had gold on the ship. But when he finally got to Cuba with no, when Grijalva finally got back to Cuba, he was met with the reproaches of not having planted a colony on the newly discovered land. So they left without doing the murder thing. So of course, Velasquez was like, so what do you mean you supped with them and then just they gave you stuff and then what do you mean you just sailed around the coast? What do you mean?
Do you not remember what your mission was?
Where's the gold at? Hey, Grijalva.
I want to know where the gold at.
Give me the gold. Give me the gold.
If I take this back to the king, you know what he's going to say to me? He's going to say, where's my gold? And then I'm going to have to explain something to him.
He's going to say, Velasquez, where's my gold? And I'm like, Ferdinand.
Velasquez, when am I going to get the money?
When am I going to get the money? Columbus gave me the money. When am I going to get my money?
Wasn't Columbus Italian?
No, I think he was Spanish too.
I thought he was Italian.
He might have been Italian, but I think he was under the service of Ferdinand.
Columbus.
If I remember correctly, yeah, Columbus was. You're right. He was Italian, but I think he was serving the. I think he went to Spain to get the stuff to sail because he was selling in Spanish ships.
That's because he wasn't born in Sicily.
Because I am the Santa Donina. I don't know. I wouldn't claim that though. Way to go, Rage Against the Machine. But yeah, so Grijalva kind of like took a modest approach and like tried to be discreet about finding that that I guess Velasquez didn't intend to give him command of a greater expedition to go out again, right? So he's like, you failed me for the last time, pulls like the Darth Vader, and just kind of is mad about it.
For the last time.
Exactly. So he retires to his estate over in Trinidad, and by estate, I'm talking about like your castle pie in the sky. I'm just gonna go sulk at my castle, and feel bad about my my uncle send me out with more ships. I can go kill some more people. I'm sorry, stupid guys, stupid people, stupid banners.
I find your lack of qualities disturbing.
Whining in his corner. As his slaves are, toiling out in this field. I'm the most depressed person in the world. My uncle just won't let me have the ships.
My uncle told me I couldn't go back.
He said, "You don't get to go, Grijalva."
Droopy Grijalva the dog.
So, I guess the whole total thing would have been about, I think, 21,000 or 20,000 crowns, which is a lot of gold. I think the
21
Savage. Maybe that's where he got his name. But I guess the positive information was enough to kind of like keep Velasquez afloat, right? He's like, oh yeah, well, there's land. At least I know there's land, so we can get more people out there. So I think, he kind of grew a little uneasy because this expedition took a long time. And so Velasquez started to get a little uneasy. So this is kind of a little pretext of what's going to happen in the future. One of what's called the greatest, I would consider the greatest Mentos commercial that has been, known to man. But he had dispatched one, was it Cristobal Olid? Olid, that's what it is, in search of him. But his caravel was wrecked. So he ends up returning without any tidings. So he just sees the one of the ships, and just previous to Alvarado getting back. But meanwhile, in the background, a preparations for a third expedition had gone forward, and by the time Grijalva got back, right? So Grijalva's thinking he's going to get this command, but Velasquez is like, "Nah, we're good, man. You don't do what I need you to do, and you only bring back so much, and I'm gonna excommunicate you from the family." So the armament for the third one is to exceed the others in every respect. So first they go kind of lightly armed, then they come back, they got more arms, they're battling their way down the coast. Now he's like, oh yeah, I'll give him the guns, give him all the guns. So while Cordova had sailed away with only 3 small vessels, Grijalva with 4, the new armada would consist of 10. So you got 10 heavy ships. It's just like these people, this is corporations, I think. It's funny to look at this, you see these gold rushes, I guess, so to speak, right, where there's these places that can be taken, right? It's untouched food, I guess, and you see these people pop up everywhere in history. It's so weird to me, these same people are the same people that are abusing all the cryptocurrency. It's the same attitude. The conquistadors never really went away. We're just we're keeping with the abuse of natives. We exploit land, do this, that, and the other. The 80s is full of this. This could have taken place in the 80s. You just put some corporate buildings instead of ships, and now you got Wall Street,
white collared
yeah.
shirts.
So I find it kind of interesting, that history just keeps repeating all the time.
Greed, my friend.
Yeah, it is. It drives us all. And these people just get rich, and guess who suffers? Not them. They get mayorships. They get mayorships, and you get to work for them for the rest of your life, even when you've been liberated, because still those families had money and they're still in power. So it does nothing. It's just funny.
False sense of hope.
Yep. So I guess moving on, from that kind of into this expedition. So neither the dishonored Grijalva nor his men benefited from the discovery of the treasure, because Velasquez snatched that right up in the name of the king. He's like, "Oh, yep, I'm taking this
Yoinks.
For the king." So a lot of people that were on the expedition were pretty pissed off, right? Because they were supposed to be getting large returns. Because this is the myth they would sell would be oh yeah, gold, cities made of gold, everything's gold, 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 gold. It's all gold. It must go. It must go. And they want to get rid of it. They can't stand it. They're allergic to it. Just
serve your time, and we'll pay for your college.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Look at the checks you're going to be making.
And look at where they came from, the poor areas, right? Huh. Well, when a broken clock, you're right. It's right. So, kind of a funny side that I said about kind of coming back from this second expedition. So they brought back some of these hatchets. I think it was 600 golden hatchets, right? Which they thought they obtained it by barter. And by barter, it's not like they really got ripped off. They were just trading off cheap glass beads to the natives.
Look at this.
So, this is cool, right? Shiny, right?
Do it. Give us
It's
the
a steal.
hatchet.
Put your gun down and we'll give you the gold.
Please don't shoot us.
Yeah.
Please don't hurt us.
Wrong one. Wrong area.
I know. While I was listening to the one episode of the No Country, Old Man, Wild Country.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Wild Country for No Men.
Yep, Wild Country. That's just what this should be called. Wild Country for.
Yeah,
You just you're shooting people.
it's true. And just, hunting people. I guess the most dangerous game. Like these guys like Ice Cube, he's like in the trees like, yo, the Spaniard trying to kill me.
Most dangerous.
It is what it is, right? The most dangerous game?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say this is the most dangerous game. Like, where's Mark Ruffalo when he investigating this murder?
He's in that?
Huh?
No way Mark Ruffalo's in that.
He's in the Zodiac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
With
that.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
So, anyway, it turns out there was kind of like they were making fun of these guys because it turned out like their solid gold was actually just a bunch of like polished copper that I think it might have been maybe covered with gold, but yeah, they weren't
Gold plated.
Yeah, it wasn't real golden axes.
Huh?
So it was just copper axes. So these idiots didn't even know what gold looked like. They're just like, yeah, look at this, it's shiny.
Check it out.
Check
Hey,
it-
check it
out,
out,
like,
man.
look at these gold hatches, and they're like, hey, fool, that's copper.
That's mine.
That's copper, fool. This fool over here is getting copper.
This guy over here.
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled immediately.
Just a bunch of beliefs.
We're making fun of the Spaniards and not the honorable people of Mexico who live right next to us.
Love the food, love the people.
Yep. Okay.
We're sorry for your tragedy.
Yeah.
Screw the early Spaniards. Aztecs forever.
Yep. Hold it down.
Well, technically they were at the time, and then
Yeah, they were running stuff over there. I kind of want to do an episode. I think when we come back. Speaking of which, I can't get the porqué to ferment, so I got to fix that. But when we come back, I think there is this guy, the Blue Coyote, that I wanted. Yeah,
he was dope.
that guy was cool. Like that's a story, dude. So I think I want to kind of cover him when we come back here. But anyway, so they find out that they got hosed, and that's kind of funny. I found it to be pretty hilarious because these guys are like, yeah, give us the gold, and they're like, yeah, suckers, suck on some copper and come back. Like, because you come back, like what? It takes like a couple months to sell over there. They're long gone. It's like, ha, we got your beads.
I mean,
It's kind of both people ripped each other
favors
off,
for
though.
favors. You're
Yeah.
just like, all right, cool. What do we do with these beads? I don't know, but they just took all of our copper axes.
It's true. Now, how are they going to get through Minecraft?
They're just like, oh no, watch out for those ghouls.
The creepers are coming.
That's what they're called, creepers.
Ghouls. I don't know about. That's all I know about
I don't
Minecraft.
know. My kids play it. Our little brother plays it.
Yeah, my son likes it. I think the game's old as dirt.
I know.
People need to stop playing it. But anyway, so yeah, with that being said, like, yeah, a long time has gone by, and he wasn't sure who to appoint as commander of this great expedition, the third man. But one man, the Gallant Gairiva, his nephew, kind of came to mind. He'd earned the right, and like I think the source also says this as well. But if he bestowed this command upon him, Velasquez himself would have like made what is it? He would have been it would have been better for him anyway. It would have like saved him a lot of trouble. But turning a deaf ear to everything that everybody was saying, he's like, no, I like this guy. This guy, he chose our one and only, the guy we've been talking about for the past 2 hours.
Hernán Cortés.
That's right.
Come on down.
October 23rd, 1580. That's kind of relevant. That's weird, dude. And we got, what do we have for him? We have all the wealth he could want. So,
Next expedition.
gold beyond your wildest imagination.
Take a trip to
Yucatan, the
Yucatan.
lovely Yucatan. You'll be surrounded by women. There's a story there too. I think we might be able to get into that as well. We'll be skipping ahead, but it's great. Anyway, so according to the source, Cortez was undoubtedly the best man for the command. So far as like his ambitions went, he was the guy. He was like, you know, the corporate uprising, the rising star, the guy that gets in, he comes and gets stuff done. He's the new CEO on the block. You know, he's got a lot of currency that's not currency, right? You want to get on board with him because you're going to be going places, baby.
You're gonna be going places, or you're gonna be going other places.
You're gonna be getting up there, baby. You want to be his friend because you're gonna get things, baby.
If you want to get
You want to get off? You want to get off? You got to get on Cortez train. He's going to get you off.
Cortez is going to get you off, or he's going to kill you off.
Yeah, one of the two. So, I mean, and they've known each other for quite a while, right? So, I think that his abilities, like, he was the second wealthiest man in Cuba. So, I guess that kind of, like, counts for something. And his nature was to give a lot of his wealth to the Spanish enterprise. So that means going back to the king and, like, you know, and be very showy to buy favor, right? So he spent, I think, like around 15 years over in the combination between Cuba and Hispaniola. And it's, you know, I think it was morally due to his influence that he was able to get where he was at, right? We can kind of see that was kind of the case.
What I can give you.
Yeah, it's that, like, look at me, I'm important kind of like thing. So, like we were saying, like last time with the Instagram influencers, this guy is that guy, right? He is the
swag king.
Yeah, the swag king.
Swag king.
Swag Cortez XXX.
XXX Cortesión.
Yeah. Just out here posting his on his wood stuff. So once assured of the command, Cortez
He'd definitely have a face tattoo if he was around now.
Oh, dude, like he would be just just on SoundCloud. He's all, I got your brother in my back. Can't get brother in my back.
Yeah.
I'm going to Yucatan. I'm going to Yucatan. I'm going to Yucatan. Yeah, you can just do whatever you want.
He's the living embodiment of why you pulling all these rappers' cards.
That's true. He is going around pulling.
Because these other explorers are P words and I'm hard.
He's not one of these fake explorers banging on wax. Well, maybe not, though.
To an extent.
Yeah. So once assured of the command, he was quoted as saying this. Once assured of the command, Cortez, in the words of one man who knew him, made his money fly. So he soon, he's you know, just showering people. But it wasn't really his money. It was the money of Velasquez. So once he was assured of the command, because Velasquez kind of gave him control of everything over to him. So he soon had like hosts of friends and followers. His popularity increased with the flow from his coffers. Soon Velasquez permitted the major portion of the expense to him, right? And so he was, I think Velasquez ended up actually, like, from what I read, he was obliged to mortgage his estates and kind of like draw a lot of money. Because so Cortez was like spending a ton of money like over there, and like he ended up like not Cortez himself, and this might have been Cortez, but I think it was Velasquez around this time around with the Merchants of Santiago, which is like the Bankers Guild, which I don't think that like. It would be interesting to probably do an episode on those guys, because I'm pretty sure they're up to like shady banker stuff. Because I don't think you have a name like the Merchants of Santiago without like just like having some kind of bloody secret in you. Maybe we don't do an episode on those guys. Actually, I don't want to know.
The Merchants of Santiago, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to mess around with First Bank of Santiago.
Good guys.
Probably good guys. But I guess like according to history, I mean, if you look at the historical text, Cortez probably wasn't the worst choice, right? But his reckless advances to gain popularity and his desire to be off and away hastily kind of excited Velasquez, or kind of just like aroused Velasquez's suspicions, right? Where like you got like people who were like the guy you were trying to make popular or whatever, and like you're able to control him, right? Because you're the guy with the power. And suddenly that guy's like starting to eclipse you, and you're like, oh crap, I got to do something about this guy.
What did
I'm
I
gonna lose my
just
power.
do?
You're like, because I'm going to lose my position because I made a misstep. Because Cortez was known to be clever, known to be. I mean, we've seen him. I mean, he obviously like using his
You could break
bird
into
law.
2 different jails twice.
Yeah, this guy was a MacGyver for sure. I think it was his studying of bird law. You know, like, imagine this 2-year law school student who LARPed. Like, just who would have suspected this guy would have been the sleeper hit that he was? I guess some people just have a call.
Another guy recovering soon. You're just like, oh, where did you come from?
It's just the right place, the right time, right?
Exactly. I'm really starting to believe that. I'm not even lying.
I wish I was at the right place at the right time. But I don't know. Usually you just get your name put in history and you got to do a lot of bad things to get the right place at the right time. So I don't know.
Hey,
Maybe
you
it's not worth
win, history changes. If you lose, you're a bad guy.
That's true. Yeah, I think in any other time than this, Cortez is like we're seen as like a hero for a long minute.
Probably.
But
Columbus.
so this led to a lot of things, right? So he was with him getting all this money, handing it out. He was, especially with his personality, because he was accustomed to having like stuff just done because he's just, apparently like, he was this guy, would, if you didn't obey him, he would just lord it over you, like, just like, be that he had money and he would just destroy you. He was that guy. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? So,
I can't believe this. Who are you? I spit on you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who is this? Toxic Cortez. I spit on him.
Have you thought of the smell? You haven't even thought of the smell.
So, but I guess he was like, popular with the common people, which it's kind of interesting because that makes sense because people love to be spit on and like treated like crap. So they're like, yeah, we love this guy. Like he's just walking around like a fancy fop.
Reminds me of another guy who was not a common person, but the common people loved him. Who could say? Who could say?
Talking about Joe Biden?
No.
Oh, Joe Budden.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Joey Badass.
Oh, yes, that guy.
That guy.
But yeah, I mean, there wasn't really anything that stood up about Cortez, right? He was not really tall. I guess he was like, the source that I read, he describes him as shoulders broad and his strength was great. So probably a little portly, right? He's a thick boy. Thick boy Cortez. That would have been his Instagram name or his SoundCloud name.
Just hanging out,
Yeah, Thick Berry Cortez.
But they always had those like frilly things around their neck and then like the pants.
Yeah, you're right. He wouldn't have been a like a SoundCloud guy because those guys always dress like weirdos. I don't think he would have had a face tattoo either. He would have been like the.
He would have been like a Paul brother.
Yeah, maybe like that.
Making up his own coin.
Cortez coin.
The court coin.
Give me some of that court coin.
The Cortez.
But I guess he was good at he got better at horse riding. Like his LARPing did really pay off. Like he was like to give him a chance to practice in the saddle and do.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got all this money, eventually, you're gonna be living that life for like what you said, 15 years.
Yeah, that's true. 15 years of LARPing, and you better be good at something.
Do a lot to you,
especially if you have money. That actually makes sense. Speaking about the Paul brothers, because I doubt they were good boxers, but they LARPed hard enough and fought enough bad boxers that they actually became somewhat professional boxers.
Well, and when you have enough money, you can pay for people.
That's true. You don't have to worry about things like bills and like what am I going to do for this money. Because it's just there. You have the money.
They have recovered from past, situations where they were they were in the media being hated on, and they recovered. People still like them.
That's right. That's a maverick lifestyle. I guess these guys are real maverick here too. But yeah, he was. I guess the LARPing actually did pay off. But he did want to dip his wick all the time. But I guess old Catalina, the old ball and chain, had it in for him.
Arturo.
Oddly enough, the book I was reading describes this. I'll read this quote here. So, his dark and flashing eye had a compelling effect upon all he met. He was often feared where he was not respected. Sometimes this book wavers. It'll just throw some serious shade at him. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. They just sneak dissed him. And then it's just praising him as the finest horseman. So I don't know if this guy had torn opinions on who Cortez was, but
Probably, he makes Cortez sound like a real take my wife kind of guy. He's all, take my wife, the old ball and chain.
He's like,
This man just Rodney Dangerfielding it up.
Cortez sounds like the type of dude that like is the minute his like I could just see this is his character arc, right? Is the minute his wife like goes and does something else, like he's just like trying to dip. He's just like going over down to the like local tavern and meeting, Cordana or whatever.
Go visit my mom for a couple. He's like, get the fuck out.
He's like,
Let's
oh.
go.
And then like but Catalina finds out, and then he's like, oh, I don't want to go to jail again. It's like, he's the Hoff twin. It's like proto Hoff.
Do you
twin.
know how dumb you look?
Yeah, like Catalina's just chewing him out.
You make me so mad.
He's got his outfit on, his like foppish outfit. You know how dumb you look. Oh yeah, that's kind of I don't know. Like I'm going to end it probably right here just for a little bit. I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode than last time, but research has gotten kind of a little bit different. It's a little bit different. So I think we're going to do round 3. We'll try to wrap it all up. This guy has a lot of stories. Like I'll get into it and I'm like, oh, this guy actually has a lot of interesting things going on. This is just a small period. We haven't even left for the Yucatan yet.
No.
But
we're starting to shape the narrative and the person who Cortez is, and it seems to me as though it is a right place, right time, no matter what you do. Like nothing's keeping this guy down. Ain't nothing gonna break his stride. Ain't nothing gonna slow him down when there's no one disapproving.
I think really though, the real moral is not right place at right time, is LARP hard enough. LARP your hardest. You just fake it and pretend that you are that thing, and eventually you just become that thing. This guy never saw military action.
I guess it is fake it till you make it.
He was a failed law school person. He dropped out of law school like after 2 years, and then just caused trouble around town, and went off and LARPed over in another area where nobody knew his name.
And it just worked. It just worked.
Yep. I mean, it'd be nice if I just got like a cadre of free labor. That helped out a lot. Just for being.
I just don't understand how everything is just kind of like.
I wouldn't even say right place or right time. It's just the times.
I guess so. It's one of those things that you said during Cocaine Cowboy. Somebody pooped the bed. Now we all have to suffer.
Yeah, I mean, like there was no rules until these people like this guy pooped the bed, and then everyone's
right,
like,
we
"Hey,
gotta set something up now.
Guys, we can't let Cortez happen again. So we got to make a bunch of rules." Which rightfully so. We can't really let Cortez happen again, or Velasquez, or
but we
Cordoba,
did. The world did.
That's true.
How many times must we come upon like peaceful people who were not bothering us, and we're just like, "Oh, this is ours now."
Well, since the beginning of time, that's kind of like you can't.
No, yeah, we can.
That's just kind of how things work.
What are you gonna stop? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Like, I'm not justifying like the genocide and everything like that, but that's how it's always worked. You can't roll it back to like the Neolithic age. I mean, this is how it's always worked. Like,
I know, but I mean, these people are like top dogs in their area, and it has to be a right place, right time, because everybody hated the Aztecs. All the surrounding tribes hated these guys.
But they didn't at first. Well, maybe they did it first, and then they built the city, and they were cool, right? Because that city was so cool. Like to take like the swamp and be like, okay, we'll take this swamp, and I'm going to engineer the crap out of this swamp.
That's what I'm saying.
And make it an oasis.
But once they get to that point, and they're like, oh, and now you will give us things because you didn't before, and now you will give us things, and
which
then they
makes
started
sense.
Conquering. I get that they start conquering, but like it had to be right place, right time, because for this person to show up and they're like, oh yeah, we hate these guys. Like, let's use him to get back at these people. Little did you know, he was taking over everything. It wasn't just, them.
Yeah.
You're next.
I don't know right place, right time, because this is like, that's just human nature though, right? You're just salty because you lost, and then you're like, yeah, okay, this guy's coming in. I lost to these guys, and I want to get back. Like, I want to get back to where I was, so I'm going to use this guy to get back to where I was.
Well, I get that, but like, what happens if Cortez had died?
There would have been 500 other Cortezes to take his place. Obviously, like they had no shortage of people who wanted to get over to this continent.
Fair enough.
Like these expeditions were going off like crazy. It's like bam, bam, and then you had like Pizarro who conquered the Inca, like in Peru and stuff. There's just a handful of these these people that just.
All I want to know is why don't we have an Incan pizza with
good.
Pizarro?
Oh, jeez, wow. But no, I mean this entire age is just like filled with that. But if you think about like the Spanish lands, like that's how when they were just conquered by different tribes and like the tribes fought back. Like so, do we give did we give it to like the native Iberians? Like that's where you can't you have to look at the actions and say, hey, let's not continue this today. But that's just you can't.
The expedition of Senor Quiznos.
Quiznos is just like this like murderous rampaging like conquistador. It's like named a sandwich company after her. Like my bad.
Senor Quiznos and Conquistador Subway. Pizarro Hut.
Pizarro Hut. I'm Franco Pizarro Hut. One day I want to have a pizza chain.
Are you so tired of trying to go find quality pizza but not finding a good price?
I didn't want to be a conquistador. I wanted to start a chain where I make a pizza in the oven, a piece of bread in the oven. I put some meat on it and some cheese, and then I sell it to you. Hot and fresh.
Another white
I
man
call it
came
Pizarro
in.
Hut.
Another white man named Papa John Schneider came in and took your pizza recipe.
Wow. We jumped from that's a conspiracy theory and a half. Way to go. We're ruining history.
What we're doing.
One episode at a time.
You're listening to the History Report.
It's the new Deep Dive Diaries. Well, I hope you are having fun with this new thing we're trying. Hope you're making your money fly. Hopefully, again, listing our source, it is that book that I read earlier. What was it? You're going to link that, right?
Yes, in the comment section we'll link it.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Deep Dive Daddies. We hope that you will continue to follow along and come in next week for the conclusion of
Yucatan Cornelius.
Good night.